What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I have to figure something out. I don't like that everybody does that when I see them now. I gotta switch up the flow. So if you do not know, Monday night the Ravens and Chiefs played. Chiefs defeated the Ravens 34-20. Now on paper 34-20 doesn't sound like a crazy score. That's only a 2-touchdown game. That doesn't sound like a bad game, but the Ravens did not play a good game at all. At all. Just to break down some stats to illuminate kind of what's going on in that game and why that happened. We'll just go down some stats real quick. You have Patrick Mahomes going 31 for 42, throwing for 385 yards, 4 touchdowns or interceptions. Whereas Lamar he had 28 attempts, completed 15, 97 yards, 1 touchdown. That ain't, unless Lamar's running for like 250. I don't see, in no situation is that a winning formula. That doesn't win. 97 to 385, that's not good. And 4 throwing touchdown versus 1, that ain't great. I'll be honest with you, that is not great. We got to fix that one. I have a solution, Lamar, though. Hey, I don't criticize without solutions, Lamar. I'm not one of them. I have a solution, all right? I got you, my boy. We'll expand on that. Chief receiving wise. So, in order to find a receiver on the Chiefs offense that had less receiving yards than the Ravens' highest receiver, we have to go 6 receivers deep. Now, I probably explained that in the most confusing way possible, but I'll break it down for you real quick. Kelsey had 87 yards. Hardman had 81 receiving yards. Tyreek Hill had 77 receiving yards. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 70 yards. Watkins had 62 yards. The Ravens' leading receiver, J.K. Dobbins, had 38 receiving yards. Their second receiver, Andrews, had 22. And Marquise Brown, who's supposed to be their number 1, had 14 receiving yards. That isn't going to do it. In addition, it was they were beating Lamar up. They were on Lamar's head. Chris Jones and that line. That was the best rushing I've seen them do in a while. And they honestly only break it out really they break it out in clutch time and against the Ravens. I don't know why, but that's the only time they break it out. They sacked Lamar 4 times. That ain't going to do it. And in a lot of those situations, it was not, I wouldn't say a lot of situations to me what it looked like, because I'm not looking at game film. I'm looking at simple TV. It looks like Lamar was holding the ball for too long. He was trying to create something. He just couldn't see. The defense was confusing him. They were getting to him, and it definitely showed in the game. The reason why this is touted as America's game, the most important game of the season, is because this is probably what the AFC is going to come down to. It's going to come down to Chiefs Ravens. These are the two best teams in the league. Don't care what you got to say. Seahawks maybe. Don't care what you got to say. These are the best 2 teams in the league. These are the teams that matter. I know regular season still matters, and like my dad said, you have to play. Like my dad says, you have to play every game. But let's be honest with you. No game on the Ravens schedule and no game on the Chiefs schedule is as important as this game. This is the matchup. We'll be seeing this game in December. Early January, depending on what goes on with COVID, because there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. There's games that they cancel, all types of stuff. So sometime in January, we're gonna see this matchup, but this is gonna decide who goes to the championship. And the Ravens have to figure something out, because they can't go into that game playing like this. Now, granted, last year, they say this team is built to beat the Chiefs. It ain't look like it to me. It did not look like it to me. I mean, offensively, they were getting thrashed. Defensively, Patrick was doing anything they want. By the way, we're going to talk, in another video, we're going to talk about that offensive scheme. That was a work of art. That might have been the best called game I've seen in a long time. Wow. That was a great game. And I'm gonna go more in depth on that specific topic, because that's an important one. I feel like that's something that more people need to speak about. But like I said, I don't criticize without having a solution. So that being said, Lamar and John, I know y'all talked about this. Lamar, I know you've probably definitely advocated for this man to come to your team. He's a Florida boy. He is a cousin of your number 1 receiver. It's time for the Ravens to call.
Oh.
This one I'm moving out.
Why?
Yeah.
You doing the video?
Anytime I get in the flow, it's like.
You doing the video?
Yep.
Don't cut this part out.
I'm cutting this part out.
Why?
Because nobody wants to see this, Dad. We gotta get out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you still recording?
I mean, I can cut if you have something of substance to say. I mean, I could cut it in, but
your boy lost 150.
Huh?
Your boy lost 150.
Oh yeah, I know he is sick. He's sick. He is sick. Back to it. Honestly, it's time to call Antonio Brown. Now I know. Now hold on. Let me say this. I don't know what's going on with bro. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know his legal situation. That's for the chatty patties to speak on. I'm assuming he's serving that 8-game suspension. I think it's 8 games. That's what they told me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's an 8-game suspension. Whatever, that situation is, that has to get solved. Obviously, if it doesn't make sense, if he's not going to be available, then we don't got to worry about calling him. But as of right now, the Ravens don't really need him like that. I mean, it's, everybody else they're going to beat the crap out of, really. Where this shouldn't happen again. We have to see what they look like against the Steelers. We got to see what they look like against the Patriots and teams like that, of course. More, playoff caliber teams. But as of right now, if we're just speaking about who we think they're going to match up in the championship game, they need Antonio Brown. And he'll be available by then. That 8-game should be served. He'll be coming in just in time for the second half of the season and for him to get assimilated to the team. So by the time they hit the playoffs, he's in stride. Now, you're probably thinking, like, that's one of the most prolific offenses, out there. Their scheme, a lot of teams can't beat it. As we see, the Chiefs can, though. And what Antonio Brown does for that team is just unspeakable. I know he's been out of football for a long time, and I feel like people have... I wouldn't say people have forgot what he does. I just think people need a refresher. I think once people see him on the field, they'll remember again why he gets so many chances and why... Give me 1 second. The frame is really pissing me off, and it's not symmetric. Just give me a second, please. So yeah, so what AB does for that offense is absolutely exactly what they need. First and foremost, football has now become a team game to who can have the most game breakers. It's turning into the NBA, really. Because if you think about it, all the best teams have at least 3 to 4 game breakers on both sides of the ball. The Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes. How did I forget Patrick Mahomes' name? That is crazy. We got Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, McCall Hardman, Tyreek Hill. I'm forgetting one. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. There we go. Whereas in the Ravens in this matchup, what we're talking about in this situation, if we're to assume that these are going to be the 2 championship teams and that was the outcome, the Ravens have to go back to the drawing board because while their game plan didn't seem like it was good enough to win, I don't think game plan is kind of the issue here. I don't think Lamar being accurate or not is the issue here. It's more so of it has to be an even matchup. You have to give Lamar kind of a chance to really compete with this offense. They can score any drive. And presently, while they're built, the Ravens can score on virtually any other team in the league every drive. They can't do that against the Chiefs for some reason. So they need to add another wrinkle. And what AB does for that offense, he doesn't add just a wrinkle to the receiving. Because receiving-wise, obviously we know him on one-on-one coverage, double coverage, triple coverage, low-high, any type of coverage you want to put him in, he's going to bust your coverage. But he'll also open up receiving lanes. You'll have Mark Andrews that streak that down the seam that they love to throw. That's going to be open because he's going to be in single coverage against linebackers. Marquise will be open more. You can hit J.K. out the backfield. Same thing for Mark Ingram. it's gonna open up their team. It's gonna open up everything they do a lot more, including what they are best at, running. Now I know a lot of people. You're probably thinking, from watching that game, they need to add a lineman to bolster up their run game. I don't think so. I think they need to add another threat. The mere thought that they can go down the field with it, because let's not get it twisted. The media pundits and everybody, they're going to say that Lamar can't throw, but real people who know football and real football people, including the Chiefs, know Lamar can throw that ball. He can spin the rock, and if he has somebody like Antonio Brown, you can throw the ball anywhere in his radius. He's going to catch it. That ball is not dropping. So that mere threat is going to open up their run game amazingly. You'll be able to get J.K. going. You'll be able to get Mark going. You'll be able to get Lamar going. It really just opens their offense up, and it gives them the ability to be creative. Like I said, I'm going to speak on this in another video, but another reason why the offensive numbers are so different in between the two teams is because what Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, were able to do offensively versus Harbaugh and his offensive coordinator, drastically different. Anything that Andy Reid wants to do creatively on the field, he can do. Whereas Harbaugh, it seems like Harbaugh has some restrictions on him. He can't get as crazy as they want to. In the run game, he can, but when you're down by 3 or 4 touchdowns, you need to start breaking out crazy pass plays. And if that happens, your passing game is going to be very healthy with Antonio Brown in it. It'll definitely help cover up any flaws in it. In Lamar's game, while yes, I said he could throw the ball, he does have slight flaws in his throwing game. Antonio Brown will definitely bolster that up. So I'm just making my case to the Ravens. I really want to see you guys win. I want to see Ravens vs. Seahawks championship. I would like to see Lamar contend. I want my boy Russell to get an MVP. I'll be honest with you. The disrespect on Russell is crazy, but I would like to see Lamar finish 1. Lamar finished 2. I want to see a tight race. I don't want to see a runaway. I want to see the best football possible in an AFC championship game. I don't want another 34-20, a faux 34-20 game. Because really, honestly, that felt like a bigger blowout. The Ravens were mounting a comeback, but like Lamar said, he said they're kind of our kryptonite. I'll put the quote in right here.
Lamar, how do you get over as a team the hurdle of the Chiefs, where it seems like they're the one team that
kryptonite.
Yeah. How do you get over that hurdle?
Well, I say second half, like just like I say always, like we always start cranking up at the wrong time. We gotta come in and finish how we start. Like we always go opposite, I guess, against them for some reason. We just gotta tighten up and play better. That's all.
But he's saying they're kryptonite, and when you get down that far in the game, you can't run their offense to catch up. And I'm rambling on obviously, but I say all that to say, Antonio Brown, whatever your legals are, let's figure that out. John Harbaugh, please call Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown's in a situation where he can't really bug out anymore. You know what I'm saying? If he bugs out with the Ravens and them going to a championship, that kills any prospect of him coming back to the league. That's it. If you fail at the Raiders, who are now looking good, and New England, who's now looking really good, could you imagine if New England had Cam and AB? Which, let's be honest, I don't think Tom was leaving if they had AB, but that's a story for another day. If he goes to the Ravens and they get AB, to me, I don't know if they come playoff favorites, but they close the gap in between. Championship favorites, they definitely close the gap in between them and KC with him. If he messes that situation up, I think it's over for him. So he's in a situation where he's gonna know that. Whatever his legals is, like I said, Chatty Patty, that's Chatty Patty talk. We don't do those. Plus, he's gonna be cheap. He's gonna be on like whatever. I don't know whatever deal they got Leonard Fournette on. The Bucks have Leonard Fournette on. AB's contract is going to be way less than that. It might be in the 100,000s. You might have to put $1 million on there just for his psychology to think he not, because you know how he is. Wide receivers in the DMS. You might have to put like $1 million incentives in there. He's going to be extremely cheap. You're going to make it a 1-year deal. Me personally, I would extend it. Whatever it costs to figure out. I know that defense is expensive, but me personally, if this works, I would definitely think about extending him because Lamar's progression in passing is going to get so much better with having a star receiver. And same thing for Marquise with him, with just being there with his older cousin, who's a star. And if his cousin is a great influence, I think this is something that Ravens should really, really look into. There's a lot of other teams that should look into this, but for my sake, for my selfish sake, I really want to see AB go to the Ravens. I'm saying it now. That's gonna be it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching.
I feel like I was just on another planet.